Welcome to Vidane TV, another night in America where it's NEPs night in America, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series back here for race number 3 here in season 3, and we're bringing you all the action here live on Vidane TV for the Turn4 Podcast 75 here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, easy enough for me to say. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth alongside me here again, the legendary sim racing commentary guy, Tim Terry. Tim, how we feeling tonight?
Oh, feeling pretty good. Short track racing at its finest. We got to see a lot of Nashville in the off-season last year, and with 75 laps with these heavy Xfinity race cars, these guys are going to put on a pretty good show, as they always do when they hit the racetrack. But qualifying just wrapping up. A couple of drivers still ready to put in some lap times, but we're about 4 minutes away from seeing the green flag here tonight.
100%. Taking a quick peek at the qualifying order so far as it stands, about 3.5 minutes or so to get these times wrapped up with the reigning and defending back-to-back series champion John Peters on top of the board with an 18:97 blistering fast lap time around the Fairgrounds Speedway here. So the 09 car looking mighty stout here this evening for the race number 3. Has to pick it up just a little bit, not struggling a little bit in the points. John Peters back in P16, so has to get a little bit better, get some finishes lined up here. Devin Marhefka on top of the points by just one point over Stephen Daddio, last weekend's winner. Anthony Aiello 4 points back, tied with Jason Ricker there in third place. Aaron Farrell having a strong start to the season, currently scored in fourth, 8 points back. Austin Bolke back in ninth. Brent Roy, surprise, one of the lone Canadian in the field here, back in sixth in points, 10 points back. And the list goes on. But 28 drivers have started at least one race here this evening. This season, season 3 in the NEPs series, and pretty cool to see that these guys are still carrying on the entertainment value that they've had for the first 2 seasons here on Vidane TV. But do want to take just a quick opportunity here to see if we can't possibly dial up our in-race reporter here for the evening, and it's pretty cool. It's a little deal that these drivers do where they're able to get on Twitter and vote for who they want to be the in-race reporter, and we're going through, and I don't see his channel listed here in the voice chat, so we're gonna dial up. We're gonna make an audible call here. We're gonna call up our backup in-race reporter, Brent Roy. Brent, you got a copy?
I certainly do, my friends. What's going on tonight?
Oh, not too much. We're going to ask you the same thing. Usually we're going to have Charles Lewandowski jump up in here in the booth, do the commentary, or do the in-race reporting, but not seeing his voice channel listed here, so you're it. You're up. What do we got tonight at Nashville? What's the plan? What's the game plan? How do the cars feel tonight?
Cars are pretty loose up off. It's going to be pretty tight up off of turns 2 and 4. You'll probably see some guys, I suspect a couple maybe solo spins or people getting wadded up there. And we only got 2 sets of tires sitting in the pits and 75 laps. You gotta really save them for the end.
Going to be an interesting race for sure, and we could see that had a pretty good practice lap time earlier on this week, starting 7th here tonight, Brent. So good luck tonight, and potentially we'll talk to you later on the time.
Hopefully we get to chat with you guys here later tonight, and if it's not me, maybe it's somebody else from 229 Autosports. Have fun.
100%. You too. And it's great that we have the door unlocked here on the broadcast booth. Aaron shows up. Aaron Creed in here with us a couple of times, or one time exactly, here in the Vidane TV commentary booth. Aaron, you here with us?
I'm late, but I'm here.
He's late, but he's here. Still getting ready to get the show started here. Rolling off a pit road right now, so little 3-man booth action here for NEPs Night in America, and we're going to bring you all the action to you live, and you can see right now the cars rolling off the field. We'll take a quick peek at the qualifying lineup. John Peters, the champ, reigning and defending 2-time champion John Peters up front. Last week's winner, Steve Daddio in second, Evan Bullier in third, Keith Lord in fourth, Jason Ricker in fifth, and you can see the show goes on all the way through, and you can see that there are 25 starters here this evening, and the caboose being driven by Kyle Casagrande back there in the 007. So it's going to be great. Going to be a great race here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Really looking forward to this show. And, well, we got to ask, Aaron, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good now that we're about to go racing.
Racing makes everything feel better. And Tim Terry, Paul Strickland Jr., Aaron Creed up here in the booth. A little three-wide action in the commentary booth, and looking forward to this one here. Race number 3 of Season 3 for the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series. Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. I'll get that right by the end of the season, I promise. But there goes the pace car. He's going to dip on down pit road, waiting for that green flag. John Peters takes it from that bottom side. Green flag racing, already contact. Mid-pack on back. That's going to bring out the caution here on lap number 1.
Yeah, Paul, it looks like there's going to be a few drivers that are going to be using that quick repair and using the quick repair early. And, yeah, we're going to wad them up and show you the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And it looks like, Paul, that some of these drivers might be able to get away with coming down pit road, including Austin Bulkey. A little bit of cosmetic damage, I think, to the 24, but the guys behind him weren't so lucky.
Yeah, it's looking like the 24 car here of Austin Bulkey wanted to be the life of the party, bringing out the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And you're taking a look at it now. Looks like he spun the tires on the restart, came down from the top side to the bottom side very, very quickly, and unfortunately wadded up a couple of cars. So like you said, Tim, going to be a couple of guys down on pit road using that quick repair very, very quickly. And that's an unfortunate event for a lot of those drivers towards the back of the pack. But we'll get them all restacked and re-racked and get ready to rock and roll. And it's still going to be John Peters up in the front of the pack right now. And it looks like there are a couple of drivers towards the back of the pack that were involved in that wreck that are going to come down a pit road. 24 of Austin Bulkey, Davin Marhefka, Anthony Aiello, and Kyle Casagrande as well. So a couple of damaged race cars early on here, but everybody, for the most part, up front stays out of the calamity back there.
Lucky that there's not more cars that were involved, because a place like Nashville, when there's an incident, it kind of the track kind of it bottles up and you have nowhere to go often. But luckily they were only just getting up to speed, and that was at full speed. It could have been disaster for even more.
100%. So these drivers giving themselves an opportunity to kind of take it all in and get the belts tightened up a little bit tighter here, and we'll see if we can maybe dial up the current leader and reigning and defending champion. Tim, you want to talk to John Peters?
Yeah, let's chat with John Peters, currently up here near the front of the field. John, what do you have to do to get this win solidified tonight? Because I know the first couple of races haven't really gone your way.
Yeah, we just got to keep this 09 machine up front and control the restarts. I think that's going to be important to get a good launch. Try to just get by yourself and then click laps off, because I don't know that it's going to be all that easy to pass here at Nashville tonight. So we'll try to do that, keep the tires under it, and be there at the end.
Practice during the heat of the day, late afternoon, and then we threw the lights on for this race this evening. Does the car handle any different than what you practiced with earlier today?
Yeah, the first lap of qualifying was very sketchy. It seemed like the car actually got a lot more free, especially on corner entry, so we had to back up our entry quite a bit just to keep the back end under it. So far, don't really have a great read on how it's going to feel, but definitely conditions changed very quickly in a matter of seconds here at Nashville tonight. Kind of interesting.
Well, you're going to get a look at the first restart here. Go get him.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
That's John Peters, driver, the 09, your leader here this evening, Paul, as we get ready to go back to the green flag. And he is going to have Homestead winner Stephen Daddio right beside him as we throw the green flag. The leader on the restart does have lane choice. John has chosen the inside. Evan Boyle right in behind as we get ready to see the green flag. We are back underway, 6 laps.
Phenomenal restart from the 09 as Barney up the flag stand. Dividend is all with that green flag, waving it in the air, and you can see the 09 of John Peters kind of utilizing that middle groove there on exit at the bottom on the exit. A great in-car shot here from the 09, just kind of easing it on in there and easing back into the throttle, hammering down and aiming for that wall as he comes off of turn 4 Very tricky racetrack here, and very tricky. You made mention here, Tim. These drivers practiced during the heat of the afternoon, and as soon as we got ready to go racing, the lights came on, the sun went down, and things got hot.
There was a few drivers that went into turn number 1 in their qualifying lap that it didn't look like they were really prepared for what the car was going to do. The car kind of skated up the racetrack a little bit, and we kind of saw that out of some of those drivers that ran up front in practice that might not have necessarily got the run that they wanted to in qualifying. So with this racetrack we've seen before on the iRacing service, it's a little bit difficult to pass, as John Peters mentioned. So if you're behind the 8 ball early, you've got to get up on the wheel, especially in these opening laps, to make something happen, and don't get caught up in the mess like we just saw in the opening lap. No complete 10 this time, and it's all led by the 09 and John Peters.
And 10 laps in, and already here at 75 on board here, Aaron. And I know you're not too familiar with the iRacing world, but very familiar with the short track racing all across America, up and down the East Coast here. And business is really going to pick up rather quickly here. This isn't a very long race. 75 laps here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedways. These drivers know that they need to get to the front, and they need to get to the front early.
But yeah, 75 laps is not a long time to get it done at a track like this. And yeah, it seemed like they spread out there in single file to begin with, and was kind of wondering if a second groove was going to come in there. But now they're all getting pretty dicey out there, and then the crowd's really enjoying this as there's some racing for the top spot and looks like some trouble.
Yeah, the 9 car, Jason Ricker, spinning on around, blocking the racing group, bringing out caution flag at number 2. And Tim, this is going to give us another opportunity at a Kong Beer Bong instant replay.
And it's another wreck that happens within the top 10, or at least starts in the top 10. And I think, Paul, did Jason and Brent both run out of real estate there?
Definitely appears to be so. A little side-by-side action. We'll take a look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay there. You can see Ricker down on the bottom in the 9. The 26 car of Brent Roy. Yup, 2 cars going for the same piece of real estate. And whether it's in the virtual world or the real world, 2 solid objects cannot hold on to the same piece of real estate at the same time. So unfortunately that did not work, and you can see the 9 car struggling to get that thing pointed, but he does finally grab a gear, gets out in front of the pace car. He's going to stay on the lead lap, but big time damage there on the number 9 for Jason Ricker. And a couple of other drivers going to come down pit road at this point as well. Scott McDonald in the 44 and Charles Lewandowski in the 01 car going to come down and get some service to their machines.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to come down and get that service. And if you're Jason Ricker, I don't think you're going to need that quick repair. We'll see if he decides to take it, though, as he hops into the box, maybe overshoots a little bit. And it looks like they are going to repair that race car instead of doing the full quick repair. So might not be a bad idea, but, Paul, these laps are going to click away real quick. 60 laps to go already. We're already working our second caution flag of the evening, so we'll see how this all shakes out.
And you can see still a little bit of damage there on the back of the number 9 car, Jason Ricker. So he thinks he's going to be able to get all the kinks worked out of it. So that's definitely good news there. And we'll see how that car runs. Still quite a few laps to go here. But again, we made mention here, Aaron, these laps are going to click off pretty quickly once we get some green flag racing under our belts.
Already have. I mean, we're, already over a fifth of the way done. And, it was, I believe I saw that they get 2 sets of tires for the 75 lap distance, so that's actually might work some strategy into this if we have a few more yellows.
100%. These drivers have 2 sets of tires on pit road plus the set that they qualified with. So that very well could play out into some of the strategy, and we've seen a lot of those strategies here, Tim. Especially with the Sim 500 Trans Service Cup Series on Monday nights here on Bedane TV. Lots of different strategies, lots of different green flag pit stops. Really coming out on top of the board with these drivers with the with the new tires underneath the race car as well. So we'll see what we can do here, but we're getting ready to go green.
Yeah, you get Team Maine on the front row with John Peters and Mr. Belvedere on the outside. Lane choice goes to the leader, and he has chosen the inside. Green flag flies. We are back underway. Daddio going to find his way in the third, Lord in 4th, and Roy battling with PJ Gerard for position number 5 as they swap that position in the middle of 1 and 2. Evan trying to take it away on the outside as he tries to take that outside around John Peters. I don't know if it's going to work right here at 4.
And right now, Daddio has a couple of different battles that he's fighting right now. He's second in the points right now behind Devin Marhefka by 1 point. And he knows that he needs to get as many points on John Peters as he can before he gets himself set on fire. Because we know John Peters, once business picks up with that 09 crew, he really does pretty much set off into the distance and drive off into the sunset with win after win after win after win like he's done over the past couple of seasons. But Daddio off to a really good start. Currently running second, currently second in points, last week's race winner, and already challenging for the lead here. All over the back bumper right now of John Peters.
Yeah, Peters is not running off on the sunset in this one. He's got some hungry racers right on his tail, and Daddio could work his way into the point lead after this if things go his way, because Marhefka's not having a very good run right now in the back half of the field.
Taking a peek at that 22 car, Devin Marhefka all the way back there in 13th position. He's actually dropped 2 spots, running side by side now with the 13 of Brandon Marhefka, his brother, Zane Farrell, back there in the pretty pink race car, the number 14 back there as well. Shout out to the Jennerstown crowd watching here on Verdane TV, and shout out to everybody watching over on the Verdane TV YouTube page. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let us know where you're watching from, and be sure to join the conversation on social media using the hashtag VerdaneTV as we ride on board here with the 22 of Devin Marhefka, trying to make his positions, trying to get a little bit closer to the front. He's got clean racetrack in front of and behind, and he's powered by milk here, Tim.
Yeah, I think Magnum Mike's trying to make a move back there in behind. He picks up 1 spot in the 78, so move Mike Hopkins up 1 more position, and is that Libby in the 46? A couple of those drivers that didn't really have a great qualifying effort, Paul, and working their way up. We're used to seeing Ryan Libby near the front of the field. I think he's won 4 or 5 of these short track races when it comes to this New England, Pennsylvania series. So he's got some work to do. Goes underneath Hopkins to try to pick up 1 more position and move him a little bit closer to the top 10. But got some work to do. Quickly running out of laps, less than 50 laps to get it done.
Yeah, and it's one of the things here, Aaron, that we've seen Ryan Libby. We usually see him run up front, and it's odd to see him in 13th. But he had a poor qualifying run here tonight. Started way back in the back of the pack, but he's actually up 10 positions in that 46 car. So Ryan Libby, actually caution flag comes out. Looks like Jason Ricker having some troubles in the 9 car.
He's not having a very good day. It's a very good evening in Nashville. May need to go hit up a few bars at the end of the night, catch some live music to cheer him up.
Tuning up the band, as we say, and we're going to tune up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And unfortunately, the 9 car brings out 1 more caution. We're going to take a peek. You can see he's riding side by side here with the 13 car. 13 down low, the 9 up high, and you can see a little bit of contact here. The 13 comes up just as Coach catches the rear quarter panel of that 9 car and just gives it a little kiss to that inside wall there. No safety barrier down there, but definitely adds a little bit more nose damage. So we'll see if he uses the quick repair to get that car back on track. But we got to switch back over to the live shot because there are a lot of drivers coming off of pit road right now, Tim.
And for the most part, 4 tires and fuel for at least your leaders that came down pit road, including Peters, Boileau, and the rest of the field. The one thing that I did see is that Evan looked to make that move on the leader. John Peters was to the inside, trying to just chisel away, try to work to the door of that race car, and as soon as he got almost even with the leader, the caution flag came out. It's the longest green flag run that we've had, so maybe the 56, maybe a little bit stronger than John Peters when we do get some laps in, so keep that in mind. And as we see with these short races and the strategy that comes along with this New England, Pennsylvania series, a couple of drivers staying out, including Ryan Libby and Mike Hopkins, 2 drivers that really didn't have that great qualifying effort that we alluded to earlier, but they are going to be a little bit behind on the tire strategy as they stay out and try to lead this race and try to have something for these guys after the subpar qualifying effort.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. When we go green, I mean, before this latest yellow, the top 10, I was looking at the intervals, and, the top 10 were only separated by less than 3 seconds, and you had someone like Austin Bulkey had cracked the top 10 after the issue right from the get-go. So it'll be interesting seeing who comes and goes right here.
100%. You can see everybody lined up behind the pace car, single file here. Let's see if we can take a minute and talk to the 99 Big Daddy. Daddy-O having a great points run this season, having a good run here tonight, currently in 6th after that pit stop as we get ready to go green here. What do you got to do to get us in front of the pack here?
Honestly, I think just be patient at the moment. There's a lot of things that need to shake out. We still got a lot of laps left here. Save some tires, keep the nose clean, keep it pointed straight.
Well, we're lined up 2 by 2. It's time to get back to work. Good luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you after the show here.
Thanks, guys.
Daddy-O, the number 99, Steve Daddy-O, having a great points run this season, having a good run here tonight at Nashville, currently restarting in 6th. He's got fresh tires. He's got a full tank of fuel. Restart, green flag, lap number 32. Here we go, and take a look at Libby back in familiar territory. A couple of car lengths in front of the field here, Tim.
Hopkins almost caught sleeping on that restart. Inside line going to back up a little bit. Peter's going to be able to take 3rd place away. Daddy-O to 4th, and have a battle on our hands for position number 5. But for a moment, it almost looked like, oh, this caution flag comes back in one more time, middle of the pack, and it looked like Hopkins might have fallen asleep on the draw when it came to that restart, but was able to rebound. And we got a couple of cars back here, Paul, that don't necessarily look the cleanest and may need that quick repair if they haven't taken it already. We'll go to the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and I think, was that the driver that was supposed to be our in-race reporter tonight?
May very well have been. It looks like Charles Lewandowski in the 01 car involved in an incident here with Anthony Aiello, and a couple of these New England drivers starting to look like they are running the modifieds, the open wheel cars here. But take a look at the 31 and the 01 here. They make a little bit of contact on the straightaway, and it looks like the 31 just kind of loses it there. Loses the front end of the nose as he gets a big-time bump from the 29 of Jeffrey Brown there in the 29 car, and losing the nose, the bumpers covers off of those race cars, and a little bit of modified racing here with the Xfinity cars here in Nashville, and that'd be kind of a neat thing to take a peek at. But looks like pit road's going to be rather quiet. Charles Lewandowski, the 01 car, going to be the only car going to come down at this point.
Yeah, Charles probably repairing some damage there. It was just in the wrong place at the wrong time right there. Kind of minding his own business, and the 31 got squirrely. And probably some little bit of contact there, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
100%. And I want to take the opportunity right now again to thank everybody for tuning in to Verdane TV's coverage here of the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. Here for Season 3, Race number 3 for the Turn4Podcast 75 here at Nashville's Fairgrounds Speedway. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth, and I'm joined by Tim Terry and Aaron Creed, and it's great to have you guys up here in the booth with me, and it's great to have all these fans tuned in to the YouTube feed. Again, we try to stay as interactive as we can, depending on how interactive the race itself gets, so be sure to let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, who your favorite driver is, what track you go to, all that good stuff. And while we're under caution here, swing on over to Verdane.shop. Make sure you pick yourself up a hooded sweatshirt, because the fall seasons, the winter seasons, they're a-coming. And Tim, it gets cold up there in Canada.
Absolutely does. Eastern Canada, New England, Pennsylvania, where we are seeing these drivers come from, it's definitely that time of year where it gets a little bit chilly, whether you're at the racetrack or whether you're getting ready to see the snow fly, as the field will come by this time and double up. We'll see where Ryan Libby decides to go for the restart. Looks like he's going to choose the inside. Lewandowski will get the wave around the pace car and be back to the tail end of the field. So now I think the best thing for Ryan Libby to get this good restart, obviously, but see where Mike Hopkins decides to shuffle out here after that last restart. I think he was a little slow to the draw. You know, John Peters is going to be on it. This is going to be a very interesting restart here, getting closer to the second half of this race.
Pace car dipping down, taking that hard left-hand turn to the safety of pit road for one more restart here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Green flag is in the air, and Libby's got that Camaro hot to trot He's going to pull away on Mike Hopkins by about a car length, but Hopkins going to close right back in. And don't look now. Here comes the champ, Johnny Two Belts. John Peters in the 09 car closing in on the back bumper of that second place position. He wants to take his seat back on the throne here in Season 3, wants to try and get maximum points, wants to win this race and get back towards the front of the point standings. John Peters is in a hurry to get to the front here, Eric.
Yeah, and I mean, it does seem like he's not... right when I was going to say he's hanging back just a little bit, now he's going to the inside of Hopkins for second. Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be interesting to see what the 78 and the 46 do pit strategy-wise. I mean, thinking there might have been short pitting and might end up having an extra set of tires in the pits when the checkered flag falls. But, yeah, right now the 09 looks like John Peters definitely looks like the one to beat, but 99 of Daddy is following right through.
We've mentioned a couple of times this caution comes out on the speedway once again. Devin Marhefka, he's looking at the forest out there in one of the corners there. That's going to bring out the 5th caution here of the night for the Turn 4 podcast 75 here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and we'll take a look here, Tim, at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and find out what exactly happened to the 22.
Yeah, it's got a lot of heavy rear end damage, and I think, Paul, when we look at this, the 75, I think, might have tried to overachieve a little bit going in the corner.
And we'll take a peek here. The 75 gets in the corner real hot, gets into that corner panel just a little bit. The 22 car spilling milk there in the corner. Look, the good news is not a big time hit there by any stretch of the imagination. It does look like there's a lot of residual damage on that race car from a couple of previous wrecks, but a little bit of bumper car action at this point. No harm, no foul for the 22. He's going to come down pit road and get that worked on with the virtual hammers, as well as a 12 of Ryan Salvatore, David Arute, and Scott McDonald down on pit road. And well, speaking of 22, we got to give a shout out to the Spinato family. Gary Spinato, the 22 car, part of the Renner Race Car stable, and Renner Race Car, very good friends of myself here, as well as Vidane TV, sponsors to the network, as well as a lot of the different racing series that Vidane Racing has put on. And you can see the 22 car use that quick repair. He's going to come back out with a brand new race car and see if he can work his way up on through the field. But it's great to see Gary Spinato's son, Alex Spinato, out racing next season. He made his debut last year at the fall final at Stafford Motor Speedway in, I believe, the 6 car. I might have to get corrected on that. I'm not sure which car they brought out to the track to get Alex in. Did a pretty good job before the car broke, but it was enough to convince him that he wanted to be the son of a race car driver. Third generation race car driver for Alex Spinato. Going to be running a couple of handful of races before the school season kicks off throughout the summer months. Alex Spinato going to be running at Stafford Motor Speedway. Got to give him a shout out. Hung out with him this past weekend, and man, he's excited. He's got a little bit of a baseball career behind him as well, and it's great to see these young guys still in high school, excited to get inside a race car and kind of carry on the legacy, kind of carry on the family name, especially at a legendary track like Stafford Motor Speedway. But here we go, Tim. Pace car's down on the pit road, and there we go, green flag.
I see Mike Hopkins as the Kevin King internet that we saw last night in the Sim 500 series, trying to keep that connection stable to the outside he goes as the 56 dives down to the inside. How about Kenny Kibbe and Corey Casagrande knocking on the door of a top 5 effort here late in this one, and they're bringing Brent Roy back along with him. Jason Ricker holding on strong. There's a couple of drivers here outside the top 5 that I think might have something before this one's all said and done, and Kenny Kibbe slides in to position number 5. He's been doing a lot of short track racing on the sim the last couple of weeks. I think he was in that All-American 400 that was on podium a couple of nights ago, and looking to pick up one more spot as he looks at the 56, as the 56 looks at the 99. They're about third on back.
And you can see here, Aaron, these drivers up for single file as we work lap number 48 and 75 on the dock at the 56. Going to look down low on Daddy-O. He knows that's a car that he needs to beat to get up towards the front of the points.
continue saying that they're on the single file because every time we say it, and they're too wide at least. So, yeah, great battle for third here, and then Kibby's having a good run to fifth. Got that Nashville experience under him, and I might be mistaken, but it was Kibby one of them that did not pit during that one yellow when everyone came down pit road?
Luckily for us, we've got the special stats here from SDK Gaming. Got to give them a shout out. Libby has been on track for the entire race, all 49 laps. Ryan Libby has been out on that same set of tires. The rest of the top 5 has been about 23 laps since they've been on pit road. Hopkins on the same pit strategy as Libby as well, been out there for 50 laps on those tires. And you can see there on that graphic on the right-hand side of your screen, all the different tire strategies that are going on here tonight. So we do have 2 sets of tires down on pit road here, Tim. Some of the drivers, they don't think they need them.
Yeah, and you don't need them for a 75-lap race, but if the rest of the field is taking tires and you've got about a 20-lap difference on the tires, it's definitely going to show. But I think Ryan Libby's trying to take that talent and try to measure it up against the little bit of differential that he is on right now as Daddio and Peters battle it out for position at number 2. And as they battle side by side, Ryan Libby begins to pull away from the field. In behind him, he got a glimpse of Hopkins and Casagrande also going at it out there. Hopkins going to take that position away as Daddio tries to fight Peters one more time back down to the inside. Great racing here as we close in on 20 to go.
Lots of respect from these drivers here in the iRacing simulation. A lot of these drivers, if not all of these drivers, know each other in person. Lots of different drivers at lots of different racetracks, different crew guys. We've got track officials, track owners, lots of different connections to the East Coast racing here in the North American continent. We have to say that because Brent Roy, one of the lone Canadians up there, connections with Speedway 660, which you can actually get coverage at timscorner.ca. Big time Tim's Corner Motorsports fans up there at Speedway 660. And man, great racing here. Ryan Libby out front, though. He's looking in his rearview mirror. He's liking what he's seeing here, Aaron. He's got a lot of room between he and Daddio in second.
Oh yeah, this is the biggest lead we've seen all night, and he's doing that on tires he started this race on. Like you said, tires aren't insanely important because of the distance of this race, but at the same time, when there's a yellow flag, it's usually monkey see, monkey do, because Nashville isn't the most smooth surface. It's got some age to it, but and we got trouble further back. Quite a few cars.
Yeah, a little bit of a pile up here in the back of the pack. Dale Glessner, Brandon Newhouse, Anthony Aiello involved in this one. We're going to pull out the 6th caution flag here tonight, and that's going to push you back just a little bit if you picked under 5 or over 5 of the NEPs bets form throughout the evening. And if you haven't checked that out, definitely check them out. Look for NEP Sportsbooks on Twitter. These guys put together a form each and every week, and they do fantasy points for a lot of different questions throughout the evening on what's going to happen, the winner, the loser, this, that, and the other thing for each and every one of these Grand National races here from Shift Marketing and Design. But we're going to take a peek here. We're actually going to take a peek from the blimp view and see exactly what happened. It looks like the 13 and the 10 get together. The 10 does a little bit of a spin ski, collects the 31, collects the 12, collects the 7, collects a couple of other drivers as well. The 29 gets a big piece of the action as well. So unfortunately for a lot of the drivers mid-pack on back, they're going to get a bunch of damage here with just a few laps to go, and a handful of these drivers going to come down pit road as well. Hughouse, Brown, Glessner, Arute, and Aiello going to come down with others going to come down pit road here, Tim, to kind of get the cars repaired just a little bit and see where they can come back out on track.
And I think everybody came off of pit road ahead of the pace car. The only driver that is currently retired from this race is Devin Marhefka. He has called it a night, so we still have 24 drivers on the racetrack. And actually the only driver that is multiple laps down right now is Anthony Aiello, 2 laps down and actually sitting on pit road. So it looks like his night may be done as you see one car in behind the pace car. That is David Arute. I was questioning whether he beat the pace car out. He may not have, but I think he is going to be scored in behind the pace car in front of the leader, so he should get the wave around and still be on the lead lap when we go back to green with less than 15 laps to go.
So we're going to get the restart with about 14 laps to go here, and I want to see if we can maybe call on an all-star expert, Larry McReynolds, here in the, in the 09 camp. We got less. We're going to get the restart with 14 laps to go here, Larry Mack. What do we got to do to get to the checkered flag?
Hey guys, I look back at the last 729 races here at Nashville, and that average caution, according to the trends, comes with about 9 laps to go. Paul?
Tim?
I think, that sounds about right. Did Larry McReynolds have like a voice crack or something over the last 2 weeks or something? What's he been doing since we've been off?
No comment, Tim.
Getting ready to go green flag racing once again after the 6th caution here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Ryan Libby up front, the second place in points. Steve Daddio up front as well in that second position. Kenny Kibbe up there as well, and that's been the running joke for the past 2 seasons where Libby runs Kibbe as well. The Libby and Kibbe show up towards the front. Michael Hopkins up there. Corey Casagrande up towards the front in the top 5 as well.
Hey, Paul, we got some junk on the back straightaway and multiple cars, and it was right around where John Peters and Evan Boyler were running after that pit stop that they just had on that caution flag. So we'll slow them down one more time, and I think when we look back at this replay, Paul, we're going to find a couple of separate incidents that happened right around each other. Guys that just came down pit road trying to make their way through, a sense of urgency with the new tires, and a lack of laps to get it done as we queue up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay one more time here this evening. And Paul, we'll see what happened here on the back straightaway, because we've got a lot of bent fenders and bent feelings, I think.
Yeah, and that's the best way to put it here. And one of the things I want to take a look here at the basically we're going to follow along with the 75, I think, and you know what, we're going to follow along with Devin Marhefka here in the 13 car on the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. We're going to take a look at it from the chopper view, and you can see this is the restart here on the just a lap ago, and you can see the 13 kind of almost jams the brake just a little bit, but gets back going, everything good to go. Heading on into turn number 1, everything looks good. The 13 gets a little bit out of shape. We're 3 wide, 13-09. The 12 car shoots on down low. He wants to kind of give the inside wall a little bit of a fist bump. We're going to back that up just a little bit here and see what exactly happened to Ryan Salvatore. And there's the restart. There's the 3 wide action. It looks like he gets a little bit of a shot in the pants there from the 26 of Brent Roy, and then he gets a big shot from the 76 of Matt Kentfield, and that is a huge T-bone. That's going to affect both of those race cars in a very big way. Lots of damage to those cars, and that's going to bring out the caution once again. And it's, like you said, Tim, a lot of bent race cars, a lot of bent feelings here with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ryan Libby will lead this field back to green, and he'll have, I would say, we have a couple of green-white checkers in the back pocket if we absolutely need them. But Ryan Libby has been good on these restarts, and it's just a matter of who can keep up with him. And then you got John and Evan back there in 9th and 10th that just came down pit road. Are they going to run out of laps before they get up there, run out of maybe green-white checker attempts to get back up here? Field is doubled up, getting ready to come back to green to try to complete this Turn 4 Podcast 75, and field looking pretty good down the back.
100%, and make sure you check out Turn 4 Podcast on Facebook, on the web. Do a quick search, you'll be able to pick them up, and we'll make sure that we get linked up here on the Bedane TV Facebook page. But here we go, Aaron. Green flag in the air, 8 laps to go. Ryan Libby, huge jump over the 09 of John Peters and over Daddio in the 99.
Yeah, we're getting down to crunch time, and it seems like those 2 restarts, Daddio, I don't know if he was caught sleeping or spun the tires, and it seems to end up being a chain reaction deal as we have another yellow right off of the restart.
Now, luckily, he's going to get another shot at a restart as we're under Kong Beer Bong instant replay time for the 8th caution here tonight. The 13 car pointed in the wrong direction, and it looks like he found that other 13 car as well, and it looks like it's right off the restart. We're going to take a look at that Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And if you want to be the life of the party, be sure you visit kong.twodrunk.net. Check out what they've got to offer. Lots of cool stuff over at the Kong Beer Bong. They got camo cans. They've got a free shipping code right on their website, when it'll be in time. It'll be shipped in time for this weekend for Halloween, all your Halloween party needs. So kong.twodrunk.net, be sure to check them out as well. But focusing on these pair of 13 cars here, the red and black, they're of TJ Gerard, the 13 here of Brandon Marhefka as well. And you can see the 13 car just kind of loses it in front of the other 13 car. He spins around, tries to get the thing saved, tries to get around him. Good news is no big-time contact. There's a little bit of a tag between the 13s, but looks like no harm, no foul for these guys. They get everything pointed in the right direction, and we are good to go for the restart once again. But a little bit of a bumper car tag here, Tim, in the mid-pack on back.
And not the first time that we've seen it here. And with this sense of urgency at the end of this race, we're going to continue to see it in these next couple of laps. And the good thing for Ryan Libby is he'll have another opportunity to try to take this away, but Kenny Kibbe has been strong. He's been working his way up, and now he is on the outside of row number 1 and trying to take away what would be a big win and a swing of momentum in the way of the 4. If he can pull it off, we get ready to come back to green. We'll have 4 laps to go.
And it looks like the lights get turned back on the iRacing pace car, so we're going to keep them lined up 2 by 2 all the way through for another lap. And less than 5 laps to go once we take this restart here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. An exciting race here for race number 3, the New England, Pennsylvania Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series here for the Turn4 Podcast 75. And be sure to check out Turn4 Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and all over the web. Do a quick search. You'll be able to pull that up. And like I said just a few laps ago, we'll be able to get that all linked up on the Bedane TV Facebook page as well. So here we go. Lights off on the pace car. 4 laps to go. Get the restart with 3 laps to go here, Aaron. Ryan Libby up front. Kenny Kibbe right next to him.
Libby seeing what happens here, and just like with Daddy-O, Kibbe kind of caught sleeping there, and Libby just mastering these restarts. And there you see further back it's getting, here we go again on the backstretch.
Big time contact from the 24 once again. Hopkins involved, the 56 involved as well. And caution number 9 going to come out. One of the things that's going to set up is a green-white checkered attempt, number 1 here for us. But we're going to pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay one more time and take a little look-see and see what happened here, Tim, to find out why it is we're under caution again.
And I think we're going to see John Peters just barely skirt by this. And, Paul, it's one of those defining moments, per se, albeit early in the season, that John Peters is going to dodge. We've got some bumper tag here on the outside line.
Yeah, a little bumper tag, it looks like. The 24 getting up involved with a couple of drivers. There you see a big-time contact with the 56. A couple of drivers in the back trying to check up. You see the 78 sliding on through that, and Salvatore unfortunately involved in that as well in the 12 car. And we'll see if we can back that up one more time. I want to take a look at the 09 car's onboard view, because it looks like he was able to make it on through unscathed through that event, and that's just kind of a testament to how good the 09 car is in John Peters. We'll take a look here on the onboard. John Peters, the reigning and defending 2-time champion here in the NEPs Grand National Series champion, brought to you by Shift Marketing and Design. And he can see the calamity in front of him. Oh, he actually gets into the 78 as he tries to check up, and how about that? Sawing on that steering wheel to get around the event in front of him. Gets on through scot-free, but still back there in the 10th position. John Peters still not quite where he needs to be to try and gain capital points on the season.
You know, it's better than being involved and being the back of the lead lap right there. So Peters skated his way through there as best as he could and only had some cosmetic damage. And now he's going to be, in case something else happens in the green-white checker, he could be right there. Maybe not getting a win tonight, but being right there among the front runners.
100%. We can see Ryan Libby still up front. Steve Daddy-O second in points. He is running currently in the second spot. Kenny Kibbe in third. Keith Lord in fourth, and Corey Casagrande having a great run in fifth. Zane Farrell right outside the top 5 in the 6th position. Ryan Libby right now up 22 spots from where he qualified, currently running in that number 1 spot here, Tim. And these guys know it's getting real close down to the nitty-gritty, so to speak. These guys don't have much time to get back out towards the front.
And this is the one and only attempt at a green-white checker finish here this evening, so they will try it once, and that'll be it. If the caution flag flies on the first lap of green, the race is over. They'll obviously have to complete the last lap under caution, but we will try to get this done under green. Ryan Libby's just hoping to get a good start. Kenny Kibbe going to be in behind him, and Stephen Daddio to the outside, but this is the only shot at a green-white checker finish here this evening for the New England, Pennsylvania Shift Marketing Design Grand National Series. We'll see who comes out of the smoke and everything else to get a good finish and maybe a checkered flag here.
It's only smoke and mirrors lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Ryan Libby up front, taking the green flag as early as he can. Going to get a little bit of an advantage as he thunders on down into turn number 1. Daddio going to be side by side right now with Kenny Kibbe trying to take away that second position. Corey Casagrande hard on the inside wall, and that's going to stack up the middle field on back. 2 laps to go. I believe that right there is going to be the end of the race, and this last lap is going to be official. I believe we got ourselves a winner here, Aaron. The 46 car of Ryan Libby going to stack himself up behind the pace car as P1, and I believe he's going to come home with the victory.
Yeah, and what about that strategy? I mean, he's the only one. Him and Hopkins. Hopkins had some trouble late, but Libby, the only one running on one set of tires and using that track position to his advantage after a bad starting position. And yeah, checkered flag for Mr. Libby there. Great run for the 46.
Safe load, auto glass number 46 Camaro going to come home in victory lane. This race is in fact official. We're going to take a look here at the finishing lineup as soon as we get it. There it is. Ryan Libby, Steve Daddio, Kenny Kibbe, Keith Lord, and Zane Farrell up there in the top 5. Brent Roy finishing in 6th. Dale Glessner 7th. John Peters having a top 10 finish in the 8th spot. Brandon Hughouse and Kyle Casagrande rounding out the top 10 as we see Ryan Libby burning them down there on the front straightaway, and we'll see if we can indeed catch up with these top 3 drivers as we get into the post-race show here, Tim. But a great race here for sure here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yeah, heartbreak for Corey Casagrande and Charles Lewandowski on that last restart, Paul. Those two coming together, and I think Chalou just got up just a little bit into Corey Casagrande. Corey trying to pinch him off just a little bit to try to keep that position. But tough break for them, but it allows Ryan Libby to go to victory lane here this evening in race number 3.
100%. I believe Aaron is down there in the victory lane with Ryan Libby. We call him Bibby. Everybody else calls him Libby. Libby, Bibby, Bibby, Shibby, Bidibby. We're down in victory lane. Aaron, talk to our winner, Ryan Libby.
Ryan Libby, congratulations, and take us through that strategy. Everyone came down pit road. It was kind of monkey see, monkey do there, and you decided to stay out. You were one of only, I think, 2 cars that did. And was it to gain track position? Was that the big reason you did that?
Yeah, absolutely. Some knucklehead decided to drive it in way too hard in turn 1 in qualifying and wreck the car. So then on the second lap, I did the same exact thing. So I figured, well, I just dug myself a huge hole tonight, and I knew I was a top 3 car in practice. So I figured I had to pull the cat out of the hat in this one. And luckily, the guys pitted about halfway to go, and towards the back, I was really conserving my rear tires for drive off. And when those guys pitted, I says, well, you know what? It's almost about halfway. I'm going to stay out, and if we get a long run, I'll pit, and I'll have fresh tires at the very end. Then I saw all the cautions come in, and about 25 to go, I said, well, I made my bed here. It's going to be way too hard to come back up through the field there. And it was going to be really tough to pass Steven and all those guys that were in second, Kenny Kibbe and all of them. It was going to be really, really tough to do it. So I just figured stay out front, save my tires, get really good restarts, and see what would happen. And luckily, it all played out to our favor.
And those restarts, you had to have quite a few of them with all the yellows there closing in on the end, and it just seemed like you mastered those restarts one after another.
Yeah, this track's a little tough to restart on the top, and I kind of found a good line on the bottom where I could bring the second place guy up, and as long as I didn't spin my tires in second gear, had a pretty good run there. So kind of figured that out, and as long as I could keep them behind me for a certain number of laps, the tire fall off was going to be close, because after about 15 laps, those tires, the fresh tires, would get hot. It would almost equalize. So I figure on a long run, if we had 12, 15 laps, those guys could eat their tires up a little bit, and eventually it should equalize. But all these late cautions really helped out on everything on my end for the victory tonight. If it wasn't for those cautions, I'd probably be a sitting duck. So,
who would you like to thank for tonight's victory here in Nashville?
Well, I'd like to thank sponsors, Safelite Auto Glass, North End Auto Parts, R&R Fabrications, Brandon Newhouse for doing all the designing of the cars, does a great job on that. And also got to thank Brandon Newhouse for taking Corey's face off the car. I don't know if you guys have noticed, the past 2 weeks I had Corey's face on my car and on my dash, and after the first 2 weeks here of horrible bad luck, I said, you know what, we got to take that face off and see what happens. So maybe that was just the bad luck charm, and we got the rabbit's foot now. So other than that, I got to thank you guys for broadcasting. You always do a great job. I always watch it at the end, and that's about it. And NEP shift for the sponsorship, and that's about it.
Great, that's your winner, Ryan Libby.
I'm going to kick it on down a little bit further on pit road, the second place finisher of Steve Daddio. But before we talk to Steve, got to pull up the stats here. Devin Marhefka, the points leader, heading into race number 3 here at Nashville. Finishes tonight 25th. Anthony Aiello, third place in points, heading into Nashville. Finishes 24th. Jason Ricker, fourth place in points, finishes 18th here at Nashville. Steven Daddio, second place in points, 1 point behind the leader, comes home with a second place finish, rather, easy enough for me to say. And he is going to leave here with the unofficial points lead, and we'll make sure we get all that over on Verdane TV as far as the point standings go. But a great race, a great run for the 99 team. Steve, talk to us. What's going through your mind right now with that great run?
That was a lot of fun. The car tires held up everything. Everything felt pretty good. Like I said, just being patient, letting the tires come in. I think Libby probably showed that the best. I don't even know if he took tires, but he took care of them, and it was really hard to catch him. Once we got going there, it seemed like he got into a rhythm, and I'm pumped about the second place finish. Everyone ran me pretty clean. It was nice running with with the guys, with Kenny and Ev and Johnny, Ryan. Keith, you gave me a couple shots to get me going on the restart, but it was good. It was a fun run. It's a fun track.
Absolutely, and a great race all the way through here. A couple of cautions kind of littered throughout the race, the 75 laps here at Nashville. Did you have any kind of strategy coming in here tonight, Steve? Did you expect a lot of cautions? Were you looking for a long green flag run?
I think I'm much stronger on a long green flag run, but this is a short track. It's high banks. People are banging into each other. I expected a lot of cautions. It's funny at the end there. I kind of, don't tell him I said this, but I let Kenny buy me to get the bottom line on one of those restarts so I could try to get up closer to Libby. But it ended up not working because another caution came out. So I think the strategy was just to, like I said, keep the nose clean, keep all 4 tires on it. Try not to hit anybody.
Well, definitely a great showing here tonight at Nashville for the 99 crew. Steve, you're got to be leaving the racetrack here as the points leader, as race number 3, and that's got to feel really, really good. Lots of momentum here for the 99 team, and There's some logos on that race car. Got to give you an opportunity here to thank the family, the friends, the sponsors in both the simulated world and the real world who gets it done for the Virtual 99 team.
It's funny, I won my first race at Stafford, forgot to thank any of my sponsors, just thanked my family the entire time. So I was, I said if I'd get back here, I'd thank everybody appropriately. Brookview Repair gave me my first break in the Dare stock way back then. So thank you to them. My dad's shop, Daddy Was Auto Parts, and growing up, running when I was younger, TC Facility helped us out a lot. They do a lot of, facility cleaning and repainting, keeping places nice. So thank you to all of them. Again, thank you to my family. They're watching again tonight. I didn't yell this time, thankfully. I appreciate the support. It's a lot more fun doing this when you got people, out there watching on YouTube. So thank you guys, too. You guys do a really great job. It's a lot of fun being here.
100%. One final question. I've got a couple of races in the old Runner Race Car number 6 car. Are you and I going to trade some paint next season at Stafford Speedway in the street stock division?
I keep toying with it. I think I know those guys. I know a few of them now. I guess it's changed hands, but I thought about it last year. Maybe I'll see you again. Maybe I'll see you this coming year.
We'll see what happens in the off season coming up on the. Coming up towards Spring Sizzler here at the Napa Spring Sizzler here late April in 2022. Really looking forward to the real racing season kicking back off next year. But a great run here tonight, Steve. Congratulations, second place finish.
Thank you.
And a little bit further on pit road, we talked to Libby. Now we're going to talk to Kenny Kibbe, third place finisher. Tim, you've caught up with him.
See if we can't catch up with the driver of the number 4 of Kenny Kibbe and chat with the driver of the number 4. Paul's going to have to hit the button to move him because I don't have permissions in the Discord.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, there we go. That works. Kenny, the qualifying effort wasn't great, but you come home with position number 3. Were you one of the ones that kind of got caught off guard with the weather change when it came to qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, the car definitely didn't handle the same way that it did in practice, and I didn't run any other practice other than our warm-up here, so that's kind of all I had to go off of, and yeah, it was definitely a big change. I mean, once the race came around, it was relatively comfortable, definitely a snug setup, but yeah, the qualifying was very tricky and kind of put me in a bad spot from the beginning, but luckily we were able to recover.
Besides maybe some more green flag laps, because I know you had a shot on the outside, you had a shot in behind Ryan Libby. What else did you need on one of those restarts to solve that 46?
Yeah, I think just, more time, more green flag time is really it, I think. It was really tough to pass on the bottom, but I felt like we had the speed to at least compete for maybe a win. I mean, like I said, I had to come through the field at the beginning, and we made some passes on the bottom, some passes on the top, and so I was feeling good. It's just I wasn't able to ever get into my rhythm. And Daddio was a really tough pass there. We kept kind of flip-flopping there, and I don't know if I could have just had a few more laps under green, if I could have just cleared him and then actually had time to set up a pass on Libby and find out where his weaknesses were, might have been able to make something happen since I pitted and he didn't, so I at least had 20-some lap fresher tires on me.
As is the case at the start of the season, we have some drivers that are usually, up at the front of the field that have a couple of good races at the start, but we're used to seeing your name near the front when it comes to these races and also the championship standings. How big of a momentum boost is this to get a third-place finish here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It was very discouraging the beginning of the season. We led laps at Daytona, got wrecked out of that one, and then we got up to second at Homestead, got wrecked out of that one. So we started the year with two finishes outside the top 20. So yeah, it was pretty rough. And then how this one started with the qualifying, and then bumping into some guys on the start of this one, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. But finally, we were able to finish where I thought we kind of deserved, and hopefully we can continue that trend.
It seems to be big short track season when it comes to iRacing and some of the big open events. Did I see your name over on podium there a couple of weeks ago with the 400?
Yeah, I did. I entered in the 400 and the super late model race and the pro late model race. I didn't make it into the supers. My times in qualifying got disallowed. But then I did enter the pro race, started from the back out of 25 cars, and worked my way up to the top 10, but then got wrecked out of that one. But yeah, we were in there. Quite a few big names were in there. It's always fun to do those open races on podium. They do end up being wreck fests a lot of times, but it's a nice added challenge.
Who do you got in this race car? Who do you want to thank for tonight's effort?
Yeah, I just got to thank everybody at NEP, this group for putting this on. Shift Marketing and Design for sponsoring the series, the Turn4 Podcast for sponsoring the race, you guys at Vidane TV for broadcasting our races, everybody at Nocturnal Gaming, everybody who likes to ride on board with me on Twitch when I do these races, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next one.
That is Kenny Kibbe, another solid podium finish here, finishing in third at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And Paul, that's going to do it. Another quick show, eventful, action-packed race once again. And congratulations to Ryan Libby back on top in NEPs.
100%, and it's always great to watch these NEPs guys pack all this action into an hour or a 90-minute show, and it's great to see it. It really is. And you got to give a shout out to Turn4 Podcast for jumping on board. Check them out, facebook.com/turn4podcast. Facebook.com/turn4podcast. That'll pull up their Facebook page, Turn4 Podcast LLC, and I'm actually taking a look. Looks like they've got a pre-order opportunity to pick up some t-shirts, some long-sleeve shirts, some sweatshirts with the Turn4 Podcast logo on there. Short-sleeve shirts, $20. Long-sleeve shirts, $25, and the hooded sweatshirts, $40. Be sure to check those out and support those that support our hobby here with sim racing. And speaking of merchandise, the Vidane TV hooded sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, all sorts of good stuff over at Vidane.shop. We got the Rent a Race Car brand in there. The Angry Tree Guy brand is in there as well. Lots of Grand Theft Auto stuff in there to kind of send us on into the cooler months here. But Aaron, another iRacing match here, another iRacing race under your belt here, an action-packed race here in Nashville. What are your final thoughts?
That was definitely action-packed. Had some good green flag runs there the first half of the race, but then it got pretty dicey there as we wound it down there. But good racing nonetheless, and a lot of excitement. I'm excited for whenever I can make the next one. It was kind of a late arrival this evening, but glad to be there in the booth with you guys.
Making the magic happen as we always do here at Vidane TV. And as we take a look, we switch on over to the upcoming week of excitement here on Vidane TV. The next event, well, it's going to be your event there, Tim. Tim's Corner Motorsports bringing us Tim's Corner Live. What have we got on the docket for tomorrow night?
Actually, and I forgot to tell you, we are taking a night off, so we'll tell you the story right. Yeah, we're taking the story right now. So Dylan Langell apparently has to do an oil change to his car, so he's not available. Brandon Campbell's head is still big after driving the demolition at Speedway Miramichi last week. I've got to do a run to Sydney Speedway to get ready for their soft launch this weekend, and Denver would be a one-man band, so he has decided to do something else with his time. We're not going to judge, but so we are off this week for Tim's Corner Live. We will be back next week as we prepare for our live show coming up on Saturday for the soft launch featuring the Robbie's Towing and Safeway Auto Parts Sports in 100 at Sydney Speedway.
And looking forward to all of those details as well. We'll be able to catch up with that on the Facebook, on the website, timscorner.ca, and all that good stuff. So that tells me we're going live tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time for the Loose Lugs Cup Series as they get closer and closer to naming their 16 drivers that are going to head into the playoffs of their championship. Thursday night, a little multi-league Cup Series action. 2 races to go. We're going to find out who's going to Phoenix, who's going to be racing, who those final 4 drivers are that are going to be racing for that championship. That is going to be an absolute blast. And the Sim 500 Trans-Service Cup Series coming back to us Monday night. Just a couple of races left in that season as well. Daniel Falkingham, Kevin King, the 2 drivers to beat. They are almost guaranteed a spot into that Final 4, but the only driver that's actually guaranteed a spot is Daniel Falkingham because, well, he's won about 73 races this season. and he's doing very, very well in that season. So be sure to check us out Monday night as well here on Vidane TV. But that's going to wrap things up here for us tonight. Got to give a shout out to the old Grand Theft Auto roleplay server that I've been jumping on in highcaliber-rp.com. If you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto, if you're a fan of 5M, definitely check out that website and let them know you're a friend of Joey Stockton, because, well, you know what? We're a good friend of his here at Vidane TV. But that's going to wrap things up here at Vidane TV. Want to thank everybody for tuning in on the Vidane TV YouTube page. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, and a share. The share is the most important thing, because you got to let your friends, you got to let your family know you've been watching some entertaining iRacing action here live on Vidane TV. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., Tim Terry, and Aaron Creed up here in the Vidane TV booth here for the Turn4 Podcast, Nashville 75. We're going to be signing off. The next time we catch you, we'll catch you, and we'll be doing it live, and we'll catch you on the flip side.